at the international level, we have to understand that, and my second book, Magnificent Delusions, actually goes into it in great detail. And in my own experience, and I've dealt with American officials, etc., as ambassador, private citizen, academic, basically, Americans are very good at dealing with enemies. They know who to bomb. Americans are very good at dealing with so-called friends or allies. They know who to take out for lunch. They get very confused with states and countries with whom they are friends on a couple of issues and not friends on a couple of issues. And it's a long history. I mean, they're kind of constantly doing that. And there the Pakistani military actually has perfected the script. They have perfected the script. And they have perfected the script. Our civil servants are far too weak. You won't believe it. When I was ambassador, I used to write very candid cables because I am a writer myself, so I used to write them myself. And my staff, foreign service people, would come and say, "Sir, make it softer." For example, if I met a senator and the senator said to me, your country's intelligence service is a bunch of thugs, I would actually put it in inverted commas and I'd say, Senator so-and-so said to me that the ISI are a bunch of thugs. And the foreign service guy would say, no, soften this. Don't put it in inverted commas, say he said something negative about the ISI, so that back home you don't have to tell them that. I was very candid. So on the one hand we have the military, then we have the foreign service and our civil service that has become very cowed down. Then we have, as a result, one of the lasting consequences of the Afghan war against the Soviets is not jihadism, because jihadism has been there for longer. I always put every 17th or 16th of December, I put the Dawn front page on my Twitter feed, and that had jihad in big letters on it. So jihad has been there all along. The lasting consequence of the war against the Soviets is the absolute ballooning of Pakistan's intelligence service. The ISI is much larger than an intelligence service of any country proportionate to its size that Pakistan has. And it has a role in almost everything. Media management, supporting Zaid Hamid and his fantasy ideas, running conspiracy theories.
Spying on ambassadors.
Following ambassadors. One of my favorite stories from my era as ambassador is when one day my cook came and said that there's been an embassy car's been going around our house, the ambassador's house. So I said, who do you think? And he told me that the car belonged to one of the ISI people in the embassy. So I said, okay, don't go out, just stay home. I'm going to do something about it. I called up diplomatic security and I said, this is the Pakistani ambassador. And there is somebody with fake license plate in a car going around my house. It's a security threat to me. So obviously I knew that they will come and they'll apprehend the guy and that will expose the fact that he was from the embassy. And so his officer had to explain to me the next morning why he was, trying to run surveillance on me, the ambassador. I'm his boss.
And bad surveillance.
Yeah, bad surveillance. Why does he do surveillance of the ambassador? But going back to the thing, the ISI is ballooning. So the ISI has a role in virtually everything, including building a national narrative and media and all that. There's no shortcuts. It's going to be a long fight. There's going to be people like me. It's going to be people after me who will push back. Look, every country does its army. Most countries do. Here people have stickers saying, I support my troops and all that. But the fact of the matter is that the army is not ubiquitous. The army is not, like for example, the number of retired brigadiers who write newspaper articles or letters to the editor in Pakistan. It's very orchestrated. And that is what I mean by a militarized society. A whole, so-called think tanks that are run by intelligence services.
With fabulous acronyms. We have to give them credit for the acronyms.
And then, okay, so Christine Fair is an American professor, she is writing something. No big deal, you don't agree with her, write a book as a rejoinder, get somebody to do counter research and point out what's flawed with her research. You don't have to call her a B word or a W word, etc., etc.
All that. Gang rape, which is my favorite.
And things like that. So what we have is an overblown KGB style, Stasi style intelligence service and trappings of democracy. And then, unfortunately, since he was brought up, people in Pakistan's politics, famous more for cricket than for politics, who are willing to play ball on their behalf.